Today, I think we'll work through our warrior poses and do some flows with warriors. So some good strengthening and especially some good balance work. And as always, if there's ever anything you really want to work on, let me know and we can add it to the mix. But for now, let's start. Actually, let's start on the front of our mats, feet hip distance apart. And we'll stand here in Tadasana, our mountain pose, and begin to become settled, grounded, and here for the practice. Check into a neutral spine. Make sure the notches on your front hip and your back hip are level. And that might mean you need to tuck your glutes in a little bit, lift your hips a little bit. Just lengthen the spine.
Why am I not seeing her?
Can you see me, Janelle?
Sorry, didn't even realize my audio wasn't. No, I'm having issues this morning. I'll keep trying.
Okay, we'll just keep trying and I'll keep adding you if I need to.
Thanks.
Lengthening our spine. Our chest is open. Finding balance between our right and our left feet. And let's imagine inhaling the breath from the earth up through your body to the crown of your head and exhaling that energy, flooding your system, your entire body on an exhale. So inhaling all the way up from the earth and exhaling all the way down through the body and out the feet. And see if you can begin to get that energy flowing in your body. Eyes are closed, inhaling through the nose. You can feel the temperature of the air coming in, nice and cool. Exhaling warm breath through the nose. Put your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your chest, and let's see if we can expand our entire chest cavity on the inhale, feeling it completely, expanding the ribs, expanding the belly, and exhaling with a sigh. Inhaling again, completely filling that chest cavity, exhaling with a sigh. One more. Exhaling with a sigh. And on our next inhale, we'll bring our arms into it. Inhaling as we're bringing them up, as if we're in concrete or mud, pushing them down. We can add some bending in the knees to start getting our body loosened up, getting some movement. And we'll slowly start to build some heat here with our body. Again, always inhaling as we're making our body large or expanding, exhaling as we're contracting, making our body smaller. Inhaling, contracting, inhaling. Let's take one more deep inhale and we'll pause with our hands interlaced together over our head, facing the ceiling, reaching up, beginning to open into the shoulder joints, further extending the abdominal wall. Breathing deeply. And keeping your body in a straight line, leaning to the left, aiming that right elbow to the ceiling. And we'll open up this right side, clear through the hip, the ribs, shoulder, tricep, remembering the breath. Release it, extend straight up, really push those arms up. Remember the breath, inhaling, exhaling, leaning to the right, pulling that left elbow up, pulling that stretch in through the left hip, left rib cage really opening up here. Remembering that breath. Release it. Press those arms straight up again. And we'll come to a forward fold, flat spine, hinging from the hip. Very slowly as we begin to stretch the backs of our legs. They're not warm yet, so we're just doing some initial, that's the word, stretching here. Initial stretching to initiate the stretch. Let your torso hang here, straightening the legs, lifting your sitting bones up toward the ceiling, dipping that chin in closer to the chest. And let's squat and stand, arms back up. Okay, let's come back to a forward fold, forward fold. Might come a little bit farther into the fold this time. Really lift your sitting bones up to the ceiling. Push them right up as you press your chest flat. Come to a squat and we'll release to a chair pose. So our arms are straight out and we're releasing to a chair pose. In our chair pose, our knees are behind our toes. Our booty is pushed right to the back wall. Arms are reaching up and forward, balancing the weight between the balls of our feet and the heels. We'll just hold this here. Should start to feel some heat building. Let's drop our right leg to the back and we'll come to a crescent lunge. Really find a deep lunge. We're stretching out the front of that right leg. And we'll dip our right knee to the mat, lower it and raise it, lower it and raise it. 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward, back to that chair. Let's drop that left leg back. Step back with the left leg, as far back as you can go. Find your balance. Coming into a low lunge here. Arms are up, holding this crescent lunge. Now let's drop our left knee down. Left, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then we'll step forward, back to our chair. We'll hold this chair for just a short moment here. Inhale, standing. And drop your arms to the side, shake out those legs. Should feel some good heat building in your body. Maybe some fatigue starting into these muscles, into our leg muscles. Okay, coming back to the top of the mat. We'll inhale all the way up. Come to a forward fold, flat spine. Let ourselves come into this forward fold a little bit farther this time. Dipping the chin to the chest. And let's drop this right leg all the way to the back, and we'll let that right knee come down. So we'll be in this lunge pose for a moment. Settle into the lunge. See if you can create space between your knees. Push that left knee forward, the right knee back. Really open up that space. Pressing the front of the right hip down a little bit further. Now let's bring our hands up to our left knee, lifting our chest so our chest is open to the front, and we'll find a little bit of balance here. And if you'd like to go a little further, reaching behind, grabbing that right foot, pulling it closer to your body, really stretching into the front of the right thigh. Those quads get really tight. Okay, let's release that leg and stay up tall in your lunge here. Let's add our arms, bringing them up. And see if we can create some more height in our spine. So really lifting the spine tall, our chest is open, strong arms. Closing your eyes if you're able to, and feel the difference in how much work it takes to balance with your eyes closed. Okay, bring your hands back to the mat. We'll step our right foot forward. Bring it forward. Come back into your forward fold. You might find yourself a little bit farther this time. Lifting those sitting bones. Now let's take our left foot all the way back, dropping our left knee, creating space between our right knee and our left knee, pushing that right knee forward, pressing that left knee back, pressing the front of our left hip closer to the mat. And let's raise up to our knee with our hands and open up that chest. Extend the spine tall, adding strong arms. And if you're interested, close your eyes and increase the balance work on the pose. Trying to hold completely still. Keeping your breath soft, muscles in your face soft. Okay, return your hands to your knee. Reach behind you. Let's grab that left foot and pull it forward. And if it's difficult for you to reach back here, you can lift that left foot, or if you have a strap, wrap the strap around your back foot, and then you can pull that strap a little bit closer. That helps you to get a deeper stretch if you're not able to reach that back foot. Take another deep breath here, and then we'll release it. And return our left foot to the front of the mat. And find our forward fold a little bit deeper this time. Really pushing those sitting bones up. Hands to the mat, and we'll do some leg lifts here. So if you need to, you can bring your hands out a little bit farther, or you can add a slight bend. The goal is to get your hands as close to your feet and your legs as straight as you can. Find the modification that works for you. On the inhale, we'll lift our right foot and push it straight up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift. Straightening that left leg, keeping our hips parallel, trying to straighten this back leg. Remembering that breath. Keep relaxation in the face. Our elbows are tucked close to our body, facing the wall behind us. We're trying to breathe You might notice some shaking happening here. Take one more deep breath here. And return back to our forward fold. And let's come up to a half lift here. Give ourselves a little extra rest. Pressing into the shins, pushing your shoulders and your head forward, lifting your sitting bones. Elbows are tucked in. Taking a few deep breaths here. And exhale back into your forward fold. And this time we'll lift our left leg. Inhale, lift left leg. Straight up. So our balance is between our hands and our right foot. Our right leg is as straight as we can get it. Our left knee is pushed up as high as we can get it. We're trying to keep our right and our left hip parallel to each other and to the floor. Remembering that breath. Take 2 more breaths here. And release. And let's bring those feet together. Coming back up to a half lift. You can raise your head if you're starting to feel a little lightheaded from having your head down. And you're welcome to pendulum to stand. I will squat to stand. Bringing my arms back to heart center. Okay, let's shake it out a little bit, and we'll do a little more work in our warrior poses. So let's start with our warrior one, taking our right foot to the back of the mat, both feet facing the wall in front of us. They're on railroad tracks, so they're both facing each other here. And let's work on the form of this pose. We want to be able to keep our legs separated as much as you can, keeping the left knee behind the toes, the hips rotated towards the wall in front of you. If you have low back issues, you can open them up a little bit to the side so that you're not torquing that low spine. Our spine is tall, our chest is open. Inhale, reaching these arms up. And we can work toward getting this front leg parallel to the floor. And we can lower that back leg a little bit. Let's just stay here in our warrior one, feeling the strength required to maintain this pose, trying to aim for complete stillness, working on the breath, keeping it steady. And let's bring our right leg back to the front of the mat, step forward, shake it out. Same thing, left side. Keeping that spine tall, stepping our left leg back as far as we can get it. Keeping our right knee behind our right toes. Remember, you want to keep these hips forward unless that creates some tension in your low spine, and then you can twist out to the side a little bit. On an inhale, bringing our arms up, finding real strength here. It's a good practice also to close your eyes during this pose to see how steady you can remain without any visual cues assisting you with balance. It really increases the dynamic nature of the pose when you're relying only on your body and not your eyes. Keeping that breath steady. Take a couple more breaths here. And then step that left leg forward. Inhale, step. And shake it out. Okay, let's come back to our warrior one. Our right leg will come back. And we'll transition from a warrior one to a warrior three. So our knees and our arms will come forward, and then we'll lean forward, shooting those straight out. So we'll get our back leg and our arms parallel to the floor. So warrior one. Inhale, exhale, squeeze them to your knee and your arms together. Shoot your arms out towards the wall in front of you, your leg to the wall behind you, creating a parallel plane with your body and the floor. Keeping that left leg nice and straight. Remembering the breath. 2 more breaths here. And release. Stand. Okay. Same thing left side. Shake it out a little bit. Get a fresh breath here. Standing tall. Extend that left leg to the back of the mat. Finding a real strong warrior one. Arms are coming up and forward. We'll inhale, and on the exhale, we'll squeeze our elbows and knees together. So inhale, exhale, squeeze together. Push your arms forward. Push your leg back, coming into warrior three. And you can work with this. If this is a challenge, get close to a wall or a chair. You can put a hand rested on that. Sometimes even just standing closer to a wall makes it easier to balance. One last breath and release. Okay, let's shake it out. Let's do some heel raises before we go into our warrior two series. So you can stay on your mat, come to the side of the mat. I'd like to have the floor a little more hard beneath me when I do this. Let's keep our feet hip distance apart. We'll step up in 2 steps. Instead of just going up and down, we'll go up, up. And that helps us remember to get it a little bit higher. You can have your hands to your side, your hands on your hips. We'll do 30 of them. Inhale, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down. At your own pace, 26 left. Really reaching high, squeezing those legs. Okay, when you're ready, shake it out. And we'll do a standing balance pose here before we move into warrior two. So let's do tree pose, and we'll do it twice right, twice left. And you decide where you want to put that foot. You can put it to the side of the ankle with your toes balanced on the ground. You can lift it off so your toes aren't to the ground, bringing it to your calf or up to your perineum. You get to decide where you're going to be on each one. So we'll do a right, a left, a right, a left. Okay, find your balance here. We'll be lifting our right leg first. So root that left leg firmly into the ground. Separate the toes, create a nice wide stance. Imagine a straight rebar coming all the way up through your heel, your hip, your shoulder, and out the top. Really wanting to create that nice solid foundation for you. Okay, let's inhale and bring our foot up. And find our balance here. We can bring our hands to heart center. Find your drishti, which is that point of concentration on the floor, about 6 to 8 feet in front of you. When you're ready, on the next inhale, And lift your arms over your head, keeping those palms gently together, keeping that navel tucked into the spine, the right knee rotated out to the side, arms straight up over the head. One more breath. Let's release it. Okay, we haven't done that for a while, so we probably need to get that back in the regular rotation. Okay, let's root that right foot into the mat, creating that wide stance with your toes, that rebar coming straight from your ankle to your knee, to your hip, to your shoulder. Finding your breath here. And when you're ready, on the inhale, bringing your left foot up. Find your drishti, that point of concentration on the floor. Hands come to heart center. Keep them real gently together as if you're holding a feather between them. And on your inhale, you can raise your arms. Okay, exhale, release. We really need to work on this one. Okay, let's do it one more time on our right side, one more time on the left side. You can keep your foot where you had it, or you can bring it up a little bit further. Okay, find your balance. Find that point of concentration. Remember, we're keeping a real tall spine here. Our chest is open. Inhale, bring your foot up. Finding that balance. And returning our hands to heart center. And you're welcome to keep your hands at heart center. And if you're ready, you can inhale to bring those arms up over your head. One more breath here. And release. Nice work. Nice work. We haven't done that for a while. Okay, we've got one more. Let's root this right foot into the mat. Really finding balance and stability. Strengthen that right side. On the inhale, bring your leg up. Remember, our hip is opened up out to the side. Bringing our hands back to heart center. Finding your drishti. Inhaling, raising the arms. Okay, let's take one more breath here and release. Nice job. Nice work. Nice work. Okay, we'll just do a few Warrior Two series. If you need a drink of water, grab a drink real quick. We'll come into our warrior two stance. So our back foot is going to be at a 45-degree angle. Our forward foot is facing the wall in front of us. Okay, and again, we're going to want to twist and rotate towards the long side of the mat, but pay attention to your spine. If that's causing you some torsion, some torquing that's not good for that low spine, listen to your body and find the pose, the measure of the pose that's working for you. So finding our balance here, remember we keep this left knee behind our left toes, bring our arms out straight. Let's gaze over our left fingertips. So our left leg is forward, our right leg is back. We're using it for balance. Arms are parallel to the floor. We're tucking that navel close to the spine and gazing over our left fingertips. Trying to find calm, steady breath here. Okay, we're going to rotate back, keeping our arms straight, sliding this back arm down our back leg, rotating our wrist towards the long side of the mat, really reaching it up high, and we'll gaze over our fingertips with our left hand up. Feel some strengthening here, a lot of balance work. We'll hold this for a couple more breaths. Okay, straight arms. We're going to windmill and straighten the left leg, straighten our arms, and bring this left arm to the inside of our left leg, opening our chest out to the long side of the mat. And this time we'll gaze up to our right hand. Both legs are straight. If you have a block, you can place that block on the floor in front of your, or to the side of your left leg. Or if you can go farther to the mat, you can bring your fingertips down to the mat. Again, we're finding some real balance here, strength. Okay, windmill our arms back, bending the leg in front. Coming back to our warrior two. You're feeling some shaking going on in your legs, your arms. Okay, we'll windmill forward one more time with a bent left leg, resting our arm on top of the knee, and then we'll create a straight line from our right fingertips clear through our body to our right foot. Again, we're just resting on the inside of this bent left leg. Really pulling a good stretch from our right hip, through our right shoulder, out the fingertips. And then we'll come back to our warrior two. Finding strength here. Okay, bring both arms in front. We're going to bring them down to heart center over this leg in front. So our back leg rotates forward. And now we're going to a revolved triangle. So we're rotating to the back of the long side of the mat, opening our chest to the back. One more breath here and release it. And step forward, shake it out. And we'll finish it up on our left side. So we'll step this left leg back. Finding your warrior two, or warrior three, I guess. Warrior two, warrior two. Arms are straight. Keeping this leg in front of us bent. We'll rotate forward here. That bent leg. Opening up to the long side of the mat. Gazing up over these fingertips. One more breath. Release it, returning to warrior two. And rotate the back foot forward. And let's come over a bent knee, hands at heart center. We can just hold it here and find some good strength here. Now we'll rotate back to the front of the mat. And we'll do a revolved side angle here. Good stretch these arms out, opening up. One more breath. Release it. Bringing our hands back to our knees. And returning to our warrior two. And releasing it, stepping forward. We'll shake it out. Okay, all of our standing work is done for the day. You should feel really good about yourself. That was a lot of balancing, a lot of concentration, some really good strengthening going on. When you're ready, we'll come to table pose on our mat, and I'll let you work through some cat-cow at your own pace. Inhaling as you open up, exhaling as you close in. Inhaling to open, exhaling to close. Inhaling to open. And it might feel nice to do extended puppy, hiking that behind up into the air. Forehead comes to the mat, reaching those arms out in front of us. Taking some good deep breaths here. And continue to fall into that space between your heels and bring your arms, palms up to the sides of your hips. Use these next few breaths to really bring yourself back. Check in with how you're feeling. And we didn't work on intentions before our class today, so if you have a moment to consider an intention for the rest of your practice, this is a great time to do that. Or an intention for your week, your day, your choice. Okay, let's release it, and we'll return to the mat lying on our right side. And we'll work into our hips, keeping this left arm in front of us to help us with balance. We're resting on our right arm. Our toes, knees, hips, shoulder are in a straight line. And let's really work on lifting and lowering the leg without momentum. So you don't want to use the momentum to lift them and lower them. Work without momentum so that you're engaging your muscles all the way up and all the way down. And we'll do 8 of these. And you can really squeeze in that side abdominal wall when you lift that leg, tucking the navel close. I lost count, but I think I'm getting close. One more. Okay, let's rotate that leg forward. Big forward circles. Keeping a straight line from your shoulders to your hip. Three, two, one. And rotate counterclockwise. Again, you're trying to create a nice big circle. Okay, this time, keeping our leg parallel to the floor, we'll bring it forward and back. And again, you want to really avoid using momentum. You want to keep those muscles engaged every time. We'll do 8 of these as well. 6, 5, 4, 3. Pushing it as far forward and as far back as you can. Last one. Good job. Okay, let's drop down to our elbow, resting our head in our hand. Really squeezing into the side of our abdominal wall here. We'll lift both legs. Again, you want to keep a straight line from your shoulder through your hip, from your knee to your heels. So inhale, lift, and lift both of them, really working on strengthening into the side abdominal wall and especially the outside of the left hip. Tucking that navel in, trying to maintain a steady breath. Actually, I think we're resting our arm down here. I think I told you that and I didn't do it. One more breath and you can release. Okay, inhale, lift. A straight line, your right fingertips down through your body, your legs, out your hips. Straight line, tucking the navel in, really squeezing in to your side abdominal wall, strengthening. Taking your breath. And release. On the back side. So I'm going to rotate. So I'm facing you, and you can just roll over to the other side of the mat. Starting with our hand, our head in our hand, lifting and lower. Find that straight line, lifting and lowering, using resistance, no momentum. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go counterclockwise, so forward, big as we can go. Forward left. Okay, did we do the counterclockwise? Let's go back. If we didn't, you guys rest. I'm going to do this because I don't remember if I did it or not. My mind is a million different places today. Okay, we'll swing the leg forward and back with complete control, not using momentum. Inhale, swing forward and all the way back 8 times. Really see if you can focus on working into that hip joint. Okay, legs straight, dropping our head down to our arm. And we'll work into our side abdominal wall and into the side hip, tucking that navel in. Inhale, lift both legs. Trying to keep your heels and the balls of your feet together. You'll notice a more intense work than if you separate them or let your heels separate. Working on steady breath, relaxed muscles in the face, navel tucked to spine. And release. And we'll bring it up one more time. Inhale, lift. Lift it a little bit higher. Really work on these last few breaths here. And release. Okay, let's roll over to our back and we'll work on some bridge poses. Let's release a little bit of tension we built up into our low spine here. Put the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall to the side. Rest your arms out, palms up. And see if in 2 or 3 breaths, you can completely relax your body. Face is soft, arms are soft, legs are relaxed. That's so nice. Okay, bring your knees to your chest. We'll stretch out that low back a little bit. Always remembering the breath. And then bring your feet to the mat. Wrap your hands around your ankles. And we'll work on knee dips. And we'll do 8 on each side. So dipping the right knee to the mat, gazing over the right shoulder. Really feel that stretch in the front of the thigh. Release it. Dipping the left knee to the mat, gazing over the left shoulder. Really make your breath nice and long. Right knee, right shoulder. See how long you can get your breath as we're working on these. Left knee, left shoulder. Right knee, right shoulder. You should notice this knee coming down a lot farther. Left. Right. Left. Right. I think we have 2 left. Left. So you can drop that knee all the way to the mat. Okay, one more right, and we're going to just hold it and take a real deep inhale, long, slow, steady, and a real deep exhale, gazing over the right shoulder. Pressing that knee down as far as you can get it. Release, left knee, left shoulder. Opening up to the front of that thigh. Nice, long, steady, deep breath. Okay, release it. Fingertips come to our heels. We'll go up into these poses 3 times. So find what works for you. You can work on the height of your bridge pose. You can work on pressing your arms down. You can work on pressing your feet down. You can clasp your hands behind your back. You can press your hips up. I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back, but I'll cue other options as we do this. Okay, so fingertips to heels. Inhale, lift those hips and press down with your hands. Press down with your feet. Really lift the hips and push them up so you're squeezing your glutes. Tuck that navel in. And if you'd like to, clasp the hands together under your hips, straighten the arms, and press your clasped fists into the mat while you're lifting and really pushing up to the ceiling, trying to get as much height as you can. Now check your brow and see if your face is all squished up or your brow is furrowed. Try and keep that face soft. Okay, slowly release it. And you can do a knee press to release some of that tension. Okay, feet back to mat. Fingertips to heels. This time I'm going to create a saddle for my hips to sit in as I lift myself up, and I will cue other options. Inhale, lift. You can work on your height here, really pushing those glutes up. You can work on strengthening into the leg and the glutes by pressing your feet down. You can work on strengthening your arms by pressing your hands flat into the mat. Always, always pushing up and lifting as high as you can get it. And if you're able to create a saddle, try and get your elbows a little bit closer together. Check into your breathing, keep it steady. Keep the muscles in your face relaxed. Navel tucked. And slowly, slowly, slowly release. So we're getting a lot of work in the release. And again, you can bring your knees to your chest. Release some of that tension. Always using the breath to release. Okay, one last time. I'm going to go up into wheel pose. And otherwise, you're welcome to do any option that you choose. If you choose wheel pose, make sure you feel really strong and steady in doing that. Your fingertips face your shoulders, your palms are to the mat. With an inhale, lifting yourself up into the pose. Inhale, lift. And I know a couple of you can do wheel pose. So you can work on options, or you can just work on holding that wheel pose up. We really want to keep the arms straight, finding as much height as we can. Feet are flat to the mat. Holding strength in this pose. Breathing, coming down when you're ready. When you're ready, release out of the pose. Pull your knees into your chest for a little bit of a rest here. And then let's spend about 1 minute in our waterfall pose, working on an inversion here. So our legs are straight, finding that flat spot in our lower back, flexing our heels, pulling our kneecaps into our thighs, tucking our navel to our spine, lifting up with the pelvic floor, and our arms are resting gently to the side of our body, concentrating and focusing on the breath, lengthening it through the inhale and really lengthening through the exhale, trying to get that exhale twice as long as the inhale. Okay, we'll hold it a couple more breaths. And release it. And you can bring your feet down and we'll work on a happy baby here. It's just another real nice relaxing pose. So you can bring your hands to the inside of the arches of your feet and grab onto them, or you can bring them around to the outside, whatever you choose. And just allow your legs to fall. And then you can rotate and roll from side to side and allow the mat to do some massaging into your back, your hips, your shoulders. Just rotate, really enjoying the relaxation of this pose. Okay, and when you're ready, release out of the pose and we'll return to a seated cross-legged position. And I need to end our class a little bit earlier than usual today. So we'll take 3 minutes in Yoga Mudra for our relaxation. And I would like you, while you're in Yoga Mudra, to focus on the main areas of your body. So your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your back, your stomach, your hips, your glutes. And see if you can mentally make note of how that part of the body is feeling and then allow it to relax. So with each exhale, just let that area soften and relax. And this is also a good time to check back into your intention for your day and to really just feel all of the good feels of the yoga practice. We'll hold this for 3 minutes. So let's find our posture here, rooting those sitting bones square to the mat. Our spine is tall, our chest is open, reaching around behind our back and gently grasping the left wrist with the right hand, hinging from the hip, coming forward. And once you feel that you're at your edge, you can allow your body to soften into the pose, making sure that you're always supported. And we'll begin. Okay, inhale, coming back up. Take a moment to rest your wrists on your knees, the tall spine. Again, focusing on the breath. Bringing your hands back to heart center. My wish for you today is joy in your efforts. Namaste. Thanks for joining today. It's good to see all of you here with me. Planning on class as usual on Thursday. So keep me posted if there's anything you want me to add to it or something you really want to focus on. I'm happy to adjust. New ideas are always great. So just keep me posted. Love you all.